of us to just do a little check just then. I'm still not that technical on here yet.
We're all a bit like that when you start off, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, Micky, you sound really quiet.
Yeah, I told him.
I don't know how to turn the mic up, or I was going to ask Del, but I can't get hold of him.
So you see that bottom? So you've got the app, have you got the app on your desktop? Yeah.
Yeah, at the bottom it says built-in mic.
So where you're online on the bottom left, there's a little user settings next to the headphone and the mute, the deafen and the mute. There's a little user settings.
Gotcha.
Go into there, and if you go down to video and voice and video on the left-hand side,
voice and video,
and then you've got your input and output volume, so you can see if you're full. You can choose your mic and then see if you're full. You might.
What I am, okay. Right.
So I don't know if you've got another mic. Oh, there, that's better. Yeah.
1 2 1 2.
Yeah, that's perfect, mate. That's perfect.
Okay.
Have you taken your gimp suit off?
Oh, mate, I'm waiting for my missus to bring the Johnson's baby powder out here because it's latex.
It's stuck.
I've got this. It's this new latex from Asia, right? So you have to use a lot more. Can you hear what they're doing to me here, El? El just don't want to get involved. He's just going to be a voyeur tonight.
He's probably going to get a cup of tea and a drink like last time we had one of these where he was ending up starving and dying of thirst because we ended up on for 2 hours. He's probably stocking up, I reckon.
You have to hit him with a cattle prod to get anything out of him, don't you?
Has he been allowed to speak? Are we all allowed to speak? I don't know who controls that, if that's Trav or someone else.
No, basically, you might.
Yeah, I'm driving.
Yeah, you might.
But you can.
Oh, sorry, Trav. Oh.
Yeah, Micky. The mute button is down below, but if you want, you can leave them open the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll forget to unmute, and you could be talking for 5 minutes, and
we're all
otherwise, you know.
Yeah, that happens.
We've
all been there.
Yeah, maybe Al's got a mic issue or an audio issue or something. He's not sort of like even looking like he's chatting, so I don't know if he's there.
I spoke to him a minute ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this poor audience are going, what are these old...
Oh, we got people in the audience. Awesome. Yeah, it's just like technical difficulties.
Sorry.
No, good.
El, we can't hear you, mate. You're not coming through at all.
It's not even flashing up when he's trying to talk, sort of thing.
He's unmuting, he's muting, he's unmuting.
No, he's sending me a message on WhatsApp saying, can we hear him? And I said, no, we can't.
No.
So he's obviously trying to talk.
Why
don't you do it on your phone now if you're trying to do it on your desktop? Sorry, audience, that you sit hearing all this. Behind the scenes stuff, right?
Yeah, all the technical guys that do the studio and all that, we can't even do Discord. It's brilliant.
Like I said, transparency is key.
That's it. Blockchain transparency.
Yeah, we've all done sound checks in an open pub.
We can't hear you, mate. You're not coming through if you're trying to come through.
Has he? I don't know if he can hear us. Okay, has he tried the user settings, going in voice and video, just to see that he's run the right sound card or something?
It's funny because I was actually called when I spoke to Mick, then I tried to call you, Graham, then I couldn't get you together. Then I got through to El, and I'm like, "How do you connect us all?" Because he's the only one who knew how to do it. And now,
yeah, that's it. He's the one who's good with it.
Oh, yeah,
there we go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're a little quiet.
You're quite low, El. You want to turn up a bit, mate?
2 2 1 sec.
Brilliant. We're all there. Nice.
Just had to kick him off the stage and bring him back on again.
Did nothing.
Yeah, sometimes it's like that, isn't it? Like turn it off and on type job. Yeah.
Seems to be all I've got here on the input. 1 2.
Yeah, that's a lot better, El.
That's okay. Yeah.
It's listenable.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not studio quality, El, but it's listenable.
All right, we'll edit that nonsense out. That's fine.
So we're all here. So ready to go.
Yeah, got you. Check.
Right on. Well,
yeah,
okay.
you all sound good there, El.
Sorry about that.
Let's run it.
Go, Trav.
Yeah.
Good morning, good evening, and good day, everyone. Today's AMA, we've got some special guests with us. Vital Elements, L
Hi.
Double, and Micky Finn have joined us on stage. And Leeroy and I are gonna just have some banter with them for a little while. So buckle in; it's going to be a fun one. And yeah, with that said, Leeroy, did you want to introduce the guys to us and give us a little bit about how it all came together with this crew?
Yeah, man, you're talking about guys who are legends of the drum and bass scene, and coming from the rave scene all the way through it, contributed amazing music to the dance floors, and now to the people in this group. So, legends to have on board. Followed them around many a times. Got some stories about Micky that we can't discuss on here. But some amazing times, and to be honest, everyone, for me, it's an honour to have these guys involved. They're not just bringing music to the community; they're bringing knowledge from crypto, from virtual DJ gigs, from artwork, from all sorts of stuff. So, pleasure to have them here. I'm going to shut up a bit, Trav. I'm going to let you ask the guys some questions, and I'll jump in every now and again.
I'm still stuck at the stories that we can't talk about on here.
Okay.
We can talk about something.
Me and Leeroy have known each other for mostly the best part of 30 years. We've kind of had the acid house explosion, so we've kind of witnessed most of the developments in the scene, if you want to call them different genres, The acid house mother having, I call them, loads of bastard children, and we've been around since the beginning of that explosion, so which was all great fun. We'll leave it at great fun.
Yeah, let's leave it at great fun. But like I said, guys, you've got some amazing talent here. Graham, Vital Elements, is involved in so many projects.
I do put my things in many piles. Yeah. Like to keep busy, and love making music. So yeah, get involved in quite a few different projects, as it were.
Yeah, tell us a bit more about it, man. And we're going to get
I started off, so I'm a little bit later than these guys. Elle and Micky were people I was going out raving to. I'm a little bit younger, not too much younger. And yeah, I started off as Vital Elements in around about 2000. And then in 2004, I got my first stuff signed through Formation Records. And then I went to a distributor, New Urban Distribution, where I met Toby, who then became my partner in Serial Killers, and we formed Serial Killers. And Serial Killers has really been my main sort of dominant thing because it just was so successful. It wasn't planned, but it was just so successful. It took over all our time, really. So yeah, I've kept doing Vital Element stuff as just a creative sort of outlet. So I make all sorts of different styles, and then with Serial Killers, we really kind of brand it and home that thing. And for about, I don't know, was it 5 years, Mick? We've been working together. I mean, I've worked with Mick and known Mick for a long time through the agency. He took Serial Killers on, our first sort of agent for bookings was Urban, Mick's agency. So we've known him for a long time. And then I suppose when I moved down here, so it's probably about 8 years ago, maybe, because I was a bit closer, Mick just sort of said, should I pop down the studio and we'll start making some beats? And yeah, we've been working together for quite some time now, and we actually have quite a catalogue of unreleased stuff now after quite a few years. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Over to the others.
L Double.
Yeah, go on, L. Ah!
Check. I'm here, gang.
He's coming.
Everyone's getting brought in by Vital Elements. Hello, everybody. Yeah, absolutely amazing to be here. As you heard earlier, we've all been doing things for a long time. Myself, I've been in the music since I was like 14. Biggest things I've been doing really over the years is running the record label. That's how I met Micky, sending him dubs. Met Toby,
legendary label.
Yeah, Flex Recordings. It's been a labour of love, and definitely still at it. But ironically, at it with a lot more of a view to being in control and a lot more decentralised. So I've pretty much come off all of the generic streaming sites, where you'd get stuff. One or two things are on there, but primarily I'm not really into the centralised stuff like that. So yeah, I did that for a while, which got me noticed by the guys at the BBC for presenting. So I ended up doing pretty much the first proper national D&B show with a chart and everything, and started to get the music recognized, rounded off with charts and nationally accepted. Because I mean, me and Micky have had many a conversation. You get out there, you see how big it is. You see people all around the world. I met Leeroy in Japan, and it's like, but yet the music was almost still looked down at. So when I went into the Beeb, I was a little bit prickly. You know what I mean? I wanted it to be right.
What year was that, El? What year were you started with the BBC there?
Was that 2001, I believe?
He did the first show on One Extra.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. I remember.
Basically, they dragged in a few heads to help them start the station. I got a shout quite early, and it was quite a big thing that the guy who put the station together had contacted me. So there was a little pressure, and I was pushing that back by trying to deliver as much as I could for the scene. But fast forward to where I am now. I'm still presenting. I'm doing a stream, my own stream on Twitch and a few other of the streaming sites that are out there, and I'm pushing all things digital, been into the VR world, doing a lot of VR streams up on VR chat, and I'm currently building our own VR nightclub.
Very cool. I hear you. Yeah, you're doing those VR sets. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, that started on the on VR chat. I saw a couple of people doing it, and then just looked into it. It's all based around the virtual reality headsets, which are pretty much coming in. In the last year, I've seen it grow a lot. I had my eye on it, and then I'm watching it grow. So I got a headset, looked into it, got into the software that you use to control the vinyl or CDs as you go, because you can go either route, whether you're into vinyl or CD. So knowing me, I had to go into both, submerge myself in both, see what it was about. Ended up getting involved with the developers as well. This thing here we're on, Discord, is absolutely amazing. Both of those applications, I'm very well in with the developers, and feeding back to them regular, because we've got quite an active fan base on Twitch. So we really test the software, as in messages coming from all around the world, and hitting stuff and sending stuff to the back wall, all based on this app. So they've been really, really good to us in that sense. So that's been cool for me to be learning with them as well, because I'm new to this game as well. I'm
going to have to rack your brain on that, Al. I'm just trying to set up a server and just get into all this world myself, and it's a minefield just starting out. But it's amazing when you compare it to how like your centralized social media has gone, and how it's so hard to connect with the people who've liked your page. You know what I mean?
Like the thing about this is that it's a lot, for me, it's a lot less of a hard sell. It's just a community thing. You're just building a community. People are here because they want to be here. They're not like even bumping into you. They're here because they want to be here, So then it's about entertaining them. And I've just come off doing a stream which was all like drum and bass and marbles. Marbles for me has been a revolution on the stream, because fundamentally it allows me to connect with the community. They can all throw a virtual marble into this game by throwing a particular command in my chat on Twitch, and they've got their own avatar up on the stream rolling with us. And the community that I've built around that on Discord is quite funny when I look back now. So yeah, totally Vital Element. It's a vibe up here. I love Discord, gang. I really do.
Yeah, I'll have to join your community, man, and have a look and see what's going on. We'll have to sort that afterwards.
Yeah. Friend request just earlier, so please do that, man.
Wicked. Problem. I'll have a look. I haven't even seen that, so I'm so new to this. I'm green. It's just like I would definitely join it 100%.
Yeah, but guys, that's the beautiful thing about this. Like I said, we all go back such a long way and stuff. It was a community on the dance floor in front of us. It always has been. We come from that community to get behind the decks and stuff. So we understand the value of that, and we can all learn so much from each other. El, the fact that you're jumping in here with the knowledge you've got, just of like you say, of Discord, and Graham, you with record labels, Micky, you with record labels, and how able to move white labels from back in the day and everything. You know, we've got so much to offer people all in one place because we want to build a community and share it and put our heads together and all benefit off each other. And I think that's what this whole space is about. It's just awesome, man. It's new, but it's not scary. It's just, man, like, I've just got to find my way around it, you know?
Yeah. It's much more. What it reminds me of a little bit, like you're saying, it's the community. And I mean, this was a bit before my time, but it was legendary. And I'd go up there and just sort of, you know, be like a little boy in the corner type thing a few years after it, of the, you know, it was a part of a thing. But Micky would remember it, and that was like the cutting houses, like Music House. So within the scene, you would have community back in the day before it all went off digital. So it's almost like the centralized, the Web3 sort of stuff, and this sort of thing it's almost bringing things back to the way it should be, where it's community based again. It is really good. It's nice to see, you know.
Yeah, and underground. It is
Indeed,
underground.
yeah.
Micky, what are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm listening.
He's got your feet up watching Coronation Street or something.
I'm just listening. I was listening to Elle, and yeah, I'm just listening. I'm on the
So
side.
it's mixed term for the introduction. It's mixed term for the introduction.
Yeah. Give it to us, come
on. So I started off as a DJ in the Acid House explosion. I then, suppose, went into production to the point of, I think there's a load of shit music about. I think I can have a go at this, and that's what took me into the studio to make She's Breaking Up. I kind of got into production. Then I ended up opening a record shop. Then we had the labels. So I think at one point, I didn't set out to do this, but at one point we had an interest in a distribution company. We was making the music. We was DJing the music. I had the record shop selling the music, or everyone's music. It was like I almost started without noticing that I was kind of getting involved in, and then putting on events. I mean, I've kind of, I don't know, I think I've tipped my toe in a part of every, let's call it our journey, or the makings of our industry, to putting on holidays out in Ibiza, where we started taking people away for a week. So we then become like, I don't know, you're almost like an holiday company, like it or not. But predominantly a DJ, I'd say, which I love and still go out and do. And now an NFT maker. Which is,
cool.
You know, it's been great fun. I mean, I'm sure you heard it, Leeroy, off other producers, but definitely heard it from us that we weren't forced into, but it's like, right, you've got a minute and a half to make a cool loop. We decided to kind of almost do condensed tracks, so everything happened a lot quicker, which we was like, wow, this is really a cool way of working. You know, we was, I won't say ploughing through them, but it was like, right, we should be able to get, you know, let's set a couple of days to get one of these kind of finished. And it was just cool to be forced into work in a completely different way. Not forced, but after to, that really proved out to be, wow, this is actually a really cool way of working, both with Elle and with Graham. We were just picking a theme, and then going and getting a load of elements for that theme, be it a reggae drum and bass track, you know, jungle track. Me and Graham did a couple of cinematic kind of soundscapes. It's been really fun.
Yeah,
quite refreshing.
Yeah, everyone said that, and it's so good to hear, because, you know, you do get stuck in a bit of a formula. You know, a lot of DJ music, you've got to have that 1632 bar loop to get the mix in, you know, and really the tune don't stop until, you know, the first breakdown or whatever. And that's something I find really frustrating. I felt like back in the old days, people put the sort of hook, or you could, when you started mixing them first 32 bars, the person and the crowd knew what was coming because there was something in there straight away to catch your attention, you know. And I think, you know, I have to point Liam out, you know, for the prod stuff, man. The first bar of the music, you know that song, you know, and the first 10 seconds are critical to catch people's attention, you know. So to do it in a small like this in such a short time span, I think it made me think a bit. I've got a couple of formulas that always worked out, but it was really rewarding and refreshing.
For sure. I mean, especially if you've been producing and in and out of studios for the best part of 30 years, 10 years, 5 years, you're going to have a certain way of working, and to have that kind of not upset but changed, you know, it was a bit hard to find our feet at first, but once we got the formula, it was like, right, okay, this is the way we're going to do it. We was loving it. It's been really enjoyable, right? Because I don't know, like you said, when you're making music for a nightclub dance reaction, you've got to have a different mindset than the mindset we're going in and we're making these loops. You're a bit more open to push the boundaries a little bit, push the parameters a little bit, you know.
Yeah, I thought it was great because it allows people. A lot of people said, "Oh man, it's great because I can write whatever I want." I had a couple of people who are housey producers, and they were like, "Oh man, I've done nearly all my tunes, but I think I need to do a couple more that sound like me, that I'm known for, because I've done all this stuff that's breakbeat or totally, you know, like just strings, atmospheric stuff." And they said, I just don't write that music anywhere else. So I think there was a nice freedom, which, again, Elle was saying, that's what this whole space is about, you know.
Well, yeah, I can only speak for myself, and there's a lot of expectations in certain genres of music, and a lot of people. I'm a bit of a person. I look at going in the studio like a canvas, and no one's going to tell me what to paint. Like, I'm not going to be told what to paint if I'm an artist. I'm going to paint and I look at the studio the same way, and I think, I can't speak of the techno genre or the house genre, but the drum and bass genre, and well, jungle's having a rebirth, but back then it was a bit more what it should be now. There's a people ain't doing that. It's almost like they run into a bit of a formula where I'm a bit more, shouldn't be able to tell someone what to do when they're in the studio, or push the boundaries, like be that first person to do it. Don't give a monkeys, you know. I like it, I think it works, and I'm going to go with it, rather than, will this DJ play it, or which runs rife in our scene.
Oh man, well, I think that runs rife in life, Mick. You know, I mean, you know, I'm not no disrespect to anything, but you can look at the NFT space, and the minute Ox Apes come out, the next morning there's Ox bloody chimpanzee, Ox spider monkey. You know, there's copies. That's a lot of what the world revolves on. You know, but the true goal, I think, of any creative person, and it's so hard to achieve, believe me, is that someone can walk past a doorway or a window and they can hear your song, or they can see your picture, or see your photography, your imagery, and they know that's you. That is the art form. You're never going to write the perfect song. You're never going to do anything perfect. It doesn't exist. But to be able to have something that you can create that other people recognise without you being there, is to me is the goal, you know, and to have something so unique that it's you. The minute you try to copy people, you're always going to be one step behind. I remember producing stuff and a guy come in and be like, "Why are you using a snare drum?" What? He says, "Everyone's using a clap. You should use a clap." I'm like, "Well, that's the perfect reason to use a snare drum, no?" You know, and then like 4 months later, I use a clap. He's, "Why are you using a clap? Everyone's using a snare drum." It's like, dude, do you think I'm gonna, you know? It's like, man, I don't care. I don't care. You know, it's like I don't follow fashion. I'm 6'6". I've always swingers. Fashion don't come into my life. You know.
I was 6'3" and know that, so yeah.
Yeah, I get it. You know, I suppose it's like I call it safety town, and I would, I won't say respect, but I appreciate a lot more of an original producer rather than that sounds like that. You know, and there's quite a lot of it in our scene. Someone has success in saying everyone jumps on it, where I'm a bit more, I don't know, if everyone's doing it, I don't want to do it, and what everyone ain't doing, I want to do it.
Yeah, if you're following stuff, you're just always going to be chasing. You know, it might take a bit longer to evolve yourself, and never, you know, cease to be inspired by something. That's what regurgitating how this all works. You know, from sampling when it started off, we just used to regurgitate and remake. You know, upside stuff.
Totally. Don't get me wrong, I'm the biggest thief in the world when it comes to
creatively, yeah.
I think if you thieves saying we're all thieves, right? I suppose, you know, going down to big huge superstars, they get their ideas from places and their influences. I think it's what you do with it that is the creativity. So, you know, I wouldn't mind if people jump over one of my tunes as long as it doesn't sound like one of my tunes. Because go feed it, be creative with it. You know, that I've done it. Our whole careers have been based on it. You know.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's upcycle, remix. You know, make something your own. The same as, you know, the hip hop guys did. Really, you know, from mixing 2 tracks 4-bar loops and making something new. Really, that was kind of, you know, before us. But as soon as that beat mixing come and putting 2 elements together. You know, it changed everything. But I think, you know, especially as artists, you guys all stand there on your own 2 feet. You know, you've achieved what I'm talking about, and I think for a lot of people, that's a hard thing to visualize because they are copying other people. You know, but even down to this NFT space, I think I see some of the art and some of the stuff that people have copied the ideas, and I think, mate, if you just step back for, you know, a month or 3 months and made that your own, you would have, you know, it wouldn't have been around for 2 weeks. It would have been around for 2 years. It's the same in so many aspects of life, man.
Yeah, I'd agree. Go the extra mile and it always pays. Yeah.
Trav, are you still awake?
Yeah, mate. Coffee's kicking in. It's,
what time is
it? It's 5 a.m., sir.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, that is early.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Elle, why don't you tell us about, you know, how you found the creative process, you know, in creating for Metabeats as opposed to doing a full track? What was the experience like for you?
To be perfectly honest, it was refreshing. Sort of similar to what Micky was saying. There was sort of less constraints and more time became more important. You know, that helped us to sort of streamline some of that creative, like, you know, dilly dallying that you can do. We were a lot more to the point. So I think it as a what would you call it? As a project, we really fell into it. We fell into it because it just allowed us to do something, and well, maybe we can just finish that and then maybe do another. Like we did more. We did plenty more than what we actually submitted in the end, and that was because we got into a rhythm of what we wanted from them. We knew the time constraints and obviously the edits and you know the sectioning, like Leeroy was saying, the 16s and the 8s and all that were all different. So it was all like half of that. And yeah, it was just, it became fun. It became a fun process because it was new. We were using skills that we have in a new arena. So it was fun in that sense.
Did you find yourself reaching into the hard drive for unfinished works to see if they could apply, or was it all freshly made stuff?
Well, a lot of the stuff that I tend to, probably most producers are the same. You know, you dither around with things and they're there, whether it be a break beat or a drum pattern or something. So, you know, it's not every day you're going to be making a set of NFTs with Micky and the whole thing with Leeroy. So, you know, of course, you're digging in, you're looking for certain breaks and things that have your sort of signature to a degree, you know. But there was a lot of new parts and new elements because we as Micky mentioned, we took it as a theme. We took themes, and it was, you know, we actually had pen and paper out, guys, at one stage. We're like, you know, what themes are we on? So the themes became very important and drove each one of the NFTs.
Very cool. And you guys, yeah, like you said, created a lot more than what is going to be released with this Genesis collection. Any chance that those beats will see the light of day, Leeroy? He's muted himself.
He's muted himself. You mute yourself, Leeroy.
He might have gone away. You never know.
No, he's down there muted. Look, his mic's muted.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
what about you, Bio? What was the?
Oh, he's back.
Sorry, let's get a glass of water. I was as dry as Gandhi's flip flop.
Got the coconut water next to me.
I missed that question totally, Trav.
What was I saying?
For the stuff,
the stuff that the boys have done that hasn't been put into the Genesis collection. Is there any plan to release those at a later date?
They never told me about this. No, listen, this is like I was trying to sort of say yesterday. We're going to build an amazing community here. It's for everyone to share. The guys will look in here. They will connect with people. They'll decide if the NFT is the right place to release full tracks of music and how they want to do it. So this is the power of all of us coming together and putting our knowledge together, you know, and all benefiting inside of Metabeats and outside of Metabeats, because it's become a time where people forgot how to help each other, you know, and we've got a perfect thing here. Small communities, which again, COVID brought your attention to the fact that you don't have to go a certain distance outside of where you live to get what you need. You know, so community and what's around you become a bit more important. And, you know, there will be people who don't get in sync with it, but, you know, the majority of us have been in a scene, a community for 30 years, 20 years. Being in the dance music is being in a community, you know.
We've mostly seen people go, I'm not going to buy CDs, I'm sticking to vinyl. Then they had CDs. I'm not going to buy MP3s, I'm sticking to CDs. Then they buy MP3s. There'll be a lot of people that are that are not into this because they're not fully understanding, I believe. So it's a lot easier to criticise it than to applaud it.
For sure, and that's why we've got, you know, it's so cool, because literally I can talk to every single one of you guys personally and learn something about you, learn something that we can bring into this space, from how we can incorporate record labels, virtual gigs, artwork, anything. You know, it's like the Freemasons. We are the new Freemasons. You know,
it's the new secret society, but not so secret.
Yeah, no sort of funny handshakes. I don't like none of that touchy stuff. But
maybe a password.
Oh, you easy there. I know you. I've been your grandma's garage, remember? Yeah, so it's something new for all of us, but I do really believe in the power of it. It is a bit of a big wide world world when you're on your own social media, you know, and sometimes you're not in the mood for it, which is natural as human. But when you've got a community, there's always someone within the community who's got some information, something to share, some positive vibes, and that's what we all feed off of. So if you can surround yourself with positive people, they're always going to be there when you need that little bit of a lift as well yourself, and motivation and stuff. And mate, this is Metabeats. It's going to be a family thing. You know?
I think it's quite early. Sorry, I was just going to say, I think it's quite early as well in the whole space. So when you're talking about NFTs and who, like Micky's saying, you know, you go from vinyl to CD to NFT. Something I was looking at on Twitter was, you know, a question: what would, you know, bring musical NFTs more forward and more widely adopted? And one of the most popular answers was a player where you can play your NFTs basically in your car, you know, at home, everywhere else. So I think the space is really early as well, which is one of the most exciting things about it. Is there's quite a sort of open sort of road ahead of you, because, you know, it's open to what basically people develop.
Oh man, I believe that. I do believe, you know, it is down to your imagination. But, you know, like with us guys, you know, you don't run record labels and stuff like that without reining in your imagination to the point of, can it be done? Can I deliver this? You know, so this is what I'm saying. Every one of us has been in a situation, be it, you know, gigs around the world, different environments, dealing with different record labels. There's so much that we can all put our heads together with. The music thing, again, I don't feel like we're even dealing with the record company business, because of this whole song thing. It's my brain is all freedom from that. You know, before it's like, oh, Bandcamp, well, I've got to put a single out, am I going to make any money? Who's going to buy my music? How do I get it to people? Yeah, all these, just always a barrier as to being on your own, as to, you know, your mates are like, oh yeah, you share that for me. It's like, you know, then a month later, oh yeah, man, I heard your new tune. You wouldn't send it over to me. I'd love to play it tonight on the radio show. It's like, dude, I asked you to share it a month ago, and it was like nothing. You know what I mean? And like I say, each of their own. We've all got lives and that, but like I say, I'd rather have a little crowd around from all genres, new and old, different music, where we can all just check in and, you know, all share stuff.
That's nice, and have no algorithms that sort of tell you who's it's going to go to, basically.
Oh man, this is so exciting, because to me, this is, you know, this is, it's not a game, but it's kind of like, there's so much for people to reveal for people, the quality of all the music. And I know you guys have any of the music other than your own, really. You know, this is for me, it's kind of a bit of a, how am I going to do this? But when everyone hears the music and sees all the avatars, it's going to be even more special and even more something amazing to be part of, because it's so unique, you know.
Yeah, and on the topic of the NFT, have any of you guys dabbled in the space yet? Like, what's in your bag, or are you fresh to the whole scene?
I'm totally fresh. I know Graham understands crypto pretty well, and I know Elle does a lot. I'm a newbie.
You're more. Micky's a bit more MFI.
Yeah, that's me. He ain't got a clue what MFI was, and if there's any Americans in here, they ain't got a clue either.
What's it? They've got one called Home something. What is it in America? Home Depot. Yeah, buddy. Yeah,
no, Elle's quite on the tech, and I know Graham's looking at the crypto. I don't know if they own NFTs.
I don't own any yet. I do own some crypto. I don't own any NFTs yet. However, I was looking at this space and designing a little like project, and did have another like sort of batch of about 20-30 loops. and then Mick came to me with this, and I thought, okay, let's do this, and sort of, it's a bit easier than doing it on my own. So I may have another project that I've got in, just in mind for NFTs as well, but I haven't done it yet. So watch this space after we see how this one goes.
Yeah, man, for sure. And I want to make sure you guys get some links in the pages here so that everyone can check out your old stuff, your new stuff, what's going on, gigs. Man, Micky, some of the tracks you wrote were, my dance floor classics. Made my night out so many times. And this is what it's all about, sharing. So again, Graham, when you get your NFT things, this is perfect for people to share and get involved with, and people listening, people in the group. We can all learn from you as well. So please, feel free to chuck in some comments and ideas and stuff like that.
You talk about that, Leeroy. What are the sort of share policies and things and everything on the Discord? What is it like for invites and things? I've had a few people asking me about it and what's what. Can we get in? Can we get on? One actually said he was asked to leave, whatever that means. I don't even know, but I get it. It's a startup. But where can people post, and when are we ultimately inviting everyone to the Discord?
Hopefully next week it's going to be open for everyone. We're being a bit cheeky. At first we targeted our sort of fan base, so that some of our original followers can get on this OG spot and get in and listen to us. But yeah, it's going to hopefully open up next week for everything. Didn't want to open the floodgates and just ease the whole project in on a daily basis. And to be fair, we want people to want to get in here, the same as you do anything. Me, I've tried to create a little hype and buzz.
Totally. With it.
All the way
more
through.
to be precise, because it's all like you're saying. It is all about sharing this thing, and as all kind of the thing I found with Discord as well. It can get hectic unless everyone knows where to share as well, and it's very clear. So I think that's what I was asking from that sense.
Yeah, another thing. You imagine if we had 1,000 people in here in the first day, and that, I'm still like I say, trying to find the mute buttons and stuff. And yeah, to me, the whole thing has been like easing gently. The team of, I have to go on advice with people who've been doing this for a long time as well. So they got their little plan. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. We're going to open up next week, recording all sessions. So when more people come in, we don't have to repeat ourselves because we're getting too old for that kind of behaviour.
Happens naturally as you get older, eh?
So yeah, guys, it's going to open up more and more, and of course, how much I appreciate you for coming in, time, people listening, and I know I'll be grabbing you all back for other aspects of it, but I can't thank you enough for jumping on.
I mean, and we'd be more than up for if it helps. If you're ever thinking of having DJs coming here and coming in any one of the rooms, what do you call them? Each one of these compartments down his left-hand side margin. What do you call them?
Panels. Are they channels?
This is the warehouse stage. This is what this is.
We'd be in the warehouse.
Yeah, we'd love to have some live sets, man.
Yeah, so I don't know. Is it visual? Would it be audio? But we're just putting our flag in the ground to say if you need us to, we're up for it.
Man, this is so cool. It's so cool. You're going to smash it. Smash it. I said again with that, it was like we want to let the people flood in a bit and get to experience that. So it's a sharing thing because it's hard enough DJing with no crowd. There's no one to pick the tunes, no kind of stimulation coming back at you. So when you're online, at least it helps if you've got a good little crowd of people commenting, and that helps give you that feedback. So I'd imagine in the next couple of weeks we can definitely
try. We're going to have to get a Meta Beats club set up in VR world, because then you've got your avatars, Leeroy. Then you've got people dancing on the dance floor.
Yeah,
their avatar.
Yeah, for sure.
It's there already.
When they'll introduce me to the VR world, I spent a weekend up in Huddersfield with L. Lee. I was just blown away. I just had to come home, buy an headset, and just get involved. It's unbelievable in there, you know, what's going on in the tech world. And I'm sure all of this stuff that you're doing, Leeroy, Trav, is all adaptable to that.
Oh man, I've already told you El's going to be the wing of virtual DJ school and everything.
But what you can do, Leeroy, like you can put flyers on the floor when you build the club, and you can point your controller at the flyer, and that flyer's taking you straight into your Discord channel. It's the tech involved in it. What El was showing me is crazy.
I know. For see, anyone listening, this is this is what I'm saying. We've got a pretty good idea from day one, and that's why these guys are in here. But what every single person can add to this group, to this community, for you guys with their experience and their knowledge, and it's no bullshit. They've already done it. They can do it. We can set anything up. Anything we talk about, we can kind of deliver. You know, that's why this is so amazing, because you know I can't wait to do my first virtual DJ gig. You sent me the stuff a little while ago, and then last week I found out that you got it off L.
Yeah.
Mate, you know, it's just limitless what we can do in here.
And you can.
What's the experience of, you know, mixing virtually? Like, it must be strange not having the knobs under your fingers.
Well, you can't. Go on, El.
I mean, Micky, you've done it as well now. I'll tell you what, I've done it a few times properly, like live on stream. So it's a, you know, more stressful situation. And it's that immersive. You do think you're there, like you really do. You're not like, am I virtual? You're there. I mean, I've got 4 Pioneer CDJs, the brand new model there. You know, which is brand new model.
It's
there
showing off now, because
right for 16, 18 quid or whatever it costs. And it's crazy. Even the timing, you know, the latency it's more than acceptable. There's a few issues with you know, the touch and you know, how tactile it is for some of the small buttons, and that's something I've been feeding back to the developers, because they have literally modeled that gear exact. And once you get into the virtual space, trying to navigate to these little knobs and that, it's nigh on impossible, you know, especially when you're sweating and at it. So that kind of thing is very real. But no, it's cool. It's very believable as a DJ. Trust me, it really is. It really, really is.
So can I theoretically book you for the Metabeats first ever virtual DJ gig? Because I think
you better
you're going to be our man. You're going to be the man. You heard it first. L Double's going to do the first one.
He's the only person playing in 50 countries on the same hour at the same time, Leeroy.
I know.
And he ain't left Huddersfield.
With no trousers on.
Long johns.
But I actually thought, because El said to me, what do you think of me showing the video of me with the headset on and by side with a virtual? And I was like, El, it is so entertaining to see you standing there with an headset on and a couple of things in your hands. Yeah, and you're looking at the screen on the right and showing you the what the virtual's sending out. It's brilliant. It's so entertaining.
Oh man, I can't honestly.
It's not serious as you want it as well, you know. Sorry to cut you there, Leeroy. It can be as fun or as serious as you want. It's definitely real. They've mapped and modelled the techniques and the Pioneer gear, and you know, there's some fun aspects, like Micky's saying, there's fun aspects, because when you do whatever anybody's doing, from playing a sport game to DJ, when you actually see them in their room with the green screen, fooling about, you know, you talk about looking a prat is not the word, you know. So
I mean, there's lounges in there, Leeroy, that if you had 20 mates in your 20 VR mates, you can call them into a lounge. The lounge is really cool, like the coolest lounge in the world. And then you can DJ for them 20 people. You can either let them behind the decks with you and DJ with you, or you can put perimeters down. There's some really cool, you know, like, no one's left their house.
Oh, man. That sounds like good lazy DJing for me.
Yeah, it's just, but to set up, you know, special invites that come with NFTs. This is where I was going. Me, El, and Graham have been thinking about giving away as part of the NFT that people can come in studio session with us. Is it we break the NFT down that they bought and we remake it again, or we let them sit in on a session where it's for a future release of an NFT? But I love this immersive aspect of it because we've been around a long time. We've seen all the nuts and bolts that come with trimmings, but now we can get into this kind of immersive personal world. I love that kind of stuff. I'm all for that. We just put our jeans on the same as anyone else.
Yeah,
I think it's moved away from the whole, or if it's not moved, it's moving away from the whole influencer type world into small communities, and especially where what we're talking about here is the future. Is this VR thing's coming whether we like it or not? From like soon you're going to be sat. I mean, they're trying it with some of the shots already, but soon you're going to be sat in Lewis Hamilton's helmet shot, or you can be sat in the most expensive seat at that Formula One, and they'll sell that 500,000 times over. That's really coming, guys. That is there.
Already.
That is guaning now. Trust me. So what we're talking about, in fairness, we are playing catch up to some of the things that are happening out there. And if I'm perfectly honest, from being brought in by Micky in the original stages, I was excited to finally have some of the the music world getting into this and actually looking at how we can do something proper, because there isn't anything in a music sense in these places proper. There's one or two events here and there coming, like festivals proper running for a weekend and that 54 DJs and the whole nine. But still, compared to what we have done and seen, there's so much room for it to be done to a level and a sustainable level as well. So yeah, being part of this and bringing stuff in, Leeroy, it is absolutely perfect and feels like good timing as well.
Oh man, it's so good to hear. So good to hear. And I'm so pleased that you guys come in. The guys listening can hear this, because again, it just makes me, feel more proud about what I've achieved. That an idea that's with support of everyone else has turned into, like I said, a real doable idea, a dream that is doable, rather than just trying to take on impossible tasks that you can't deliver. Every day, every time I speak to you guys, there's something else. Someone's gone away. They've thought of another idea to attach to the NFT, something else to give. And at the end of the day, when we perform, write music, it's to give. This is just a different way of doing it that, we're still getting our heads around. But it ain't no different, really. We've always given, whether it's performance-wise or music-wise, What was that all about?
I just literally, your mic opened up and it was the bird that set your mic off.
Yeah, it sounds nice where you are, Leeroy. And you outside, mate.
No, but I've got tinnitus, so I can't hear that frequency. My missus would be like, "Listen to the birds," and I'm like, "What are you talking about? What birds?" I've got the window open, so I can't hear nothing. You might hear a few birdies though, some woodpeckers and owls and stuff. Like a bit of nature, I do.
So, is there any launch date, like when the actual?
No, we've got. I've told you about this before, Micky. It's all about the foreplay.
Yeah. Okay.
Remember that time we were in? No, I'm only joking.
That time in Ibiza?
No, not in Ibiza. That's too housey for me. There's too much leather going on, and tassels. I'm a bit more sort of bang your head stuff rather than swing your ass. You know what I mean? But anyway, moving on before skipping a jump, back to the NFT world. Yeah, Mick, we haven't got a complete date yet because we want to run this and build stuff. This has been nice.
I just didn't know if it was like 2 months marketing or that's all.
No.
How does that sort of work as well, Leeroy? How does that work for you guys at that side? What metrics do you use that is the time to drop? How is all that, or is it just feeling the market out and having a feel for it?
There's a bit of both. I think you've got your kind of product. I think the first impulse is to rush it to market. But again, like I said, there's 54 of us, and you know what it's like. All the guys, there's one or two people that, whether they're on tour or anything, it's like, well, I need that. Oh, so I'm away for a week. So coordinating 54 people ain't that easy. And we want to do everything as best we can. We're still making little mistakes in order of how to organise things. That's natural. So the mint and the NFTs and the music is the most important thing. That's the one thing that we don't want to mess up. So building this community, engaging, a lot of our fans are all European, totally supportive of us all music wise, but MFT, B&Q, MFI, like I said, to a lot of people, they need 4 weeks. If you've got any sense, you need 4 weeks at least to research a bit of NFTs, how it works. No one is gambling to an extent, and the safety elements of it. I would rather spend a week of ensuring everybody who comes into this community is aware that they buy or search things from the official links and the right places. Every single day I'm seeing people getting their wallets hacked and losing stuff, and because they're buying frauds. And I think the protection to the community, as well as them dictating they're ready for it and the elements of the roadmap as they come out, I think it is a community thing. The product's there. I want people to hear what you guys have got to say. There's 54 of you who could all have a message, and we could do this 3 or 4 times and keep on talking and talking and talking. So I don't think there's a rush. I think within the next 2 to 3 weeks we'll be able to announce a date. I'd like to think, depending on the hard work that everyone puts in.
Yeah, we've got a lot of people joining the community that haven't dabbled in NFTs yet. Including you guys. Like, there's definitely a bit of education to be had before we throw this launch at them. So,
I mean, I'm still learning about the space every day.
Same.
Of course, there's elements of NFTs where there's staking. And if you're not familiar with NFTs, the bottom line is, why am I buying this? What profit is it going to make me? What am I investing in? What am I getting for my money? That's the bottom line of everything in life at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? And that is what you have to reassure people with. Yeah, the project could be amazing, the artwork can be amazing, but if nobody's there to back it up or increase the value of it or help you as a team show you where you're investing, it's just standoffish. Everyone's the same, and I think you have to treat people the same way as you would be, and that is, I'm not going to buy that unless I'm 100% sure. First and foremost, I'm getting what they said I'm going to get, and to make sure that there's utilities, i.e. we put a record out on one of Graham's labels with all you guys drum and bass. We say, okay, if you own that NFT, you'll get a royalty. To things like that I mentioned that to you the other day. We've got to get everyone on board with artists and things like that, because it's another stage of what we're doing. All these things will unfold as we put our heads together. And the community might say, oh, well, we want an album. Well, no, we don't want an album. We'd rather have a virtual gig. Or they're going to help sort of pick this whole structure, which is nice because we haven't got to invent anything. It is literally structuring it.
yeah, and you also touched on the beats being on records. Did you guys find, as you were writing these beats, did they birth any long form songs that did you have ideas that you wanted to expand on that perhaps you did or want to?
Yeah, that's what they were saying. They kept loads of them back. I will find them.
No, actually, I mean, both with me working with Elle and working with Graham, there was for sure some of them in there that we could turn into tracks 1,000,000%. But, you know, this is what you set out to do. We wanted to get the project finished. We're not going to go, actually, park that up. No, that's brilliant. Give that one away. Do the opposite.
I was just going to say, I think that's part of the NFT world is exclusivity. So even though we would, you know, maybe want to finish that sort of one as a track, I think it takes away some of the value of the NFT. If these are just literally one-off, made for NFT, completely exclusive, it opens, you know, the customer base of potential customers that might be interested in these, and people, you know, investors, etc. Like you're saying, Leeroy, with the, you know, people want value for money, etc. My thoughts with this market is areas such as influencers, people with YouTube channels and stuff. If they want a theme that no one else has got, this is a perfect opportunity for something like that to happen, and for them to be able to buy the rights to do that and not have a problem, and have something completely unique to them, made by potentially one of their favorite artists.
Yeah, that's so cool, man. I love everyone, you know, like you guys, the way you see it as well. You know, like I said, into it, it's exciting. It's really, really exciting. And you know, if you're listening, you hear everyone, and I'm sure more to say, yeah, there was plenty of them I would have kept. So that shows you how cool they are. That the thought of the decision of, oh man, do I give that to someone or do I keep it for myself? That shows how good they are. That the guys feel that way about their own stuff. That's how it should be. It's awesome.
You just can't get in that mindset, right? Because otherwise you're going to keep all the good stuff for yourself, and that means the stuff you're handing over is not so good. What does that do for us? And it's a project. So, no, give them all the good stuff.
Oh, man. Well, let's face it, at the end of the day now, I think when we've been doing it long enough that it's all good stuff in your head, otherwise you wouldn't put it out at all. Either way, you know, you set yourself a standard in life when you get to a certain creative stage that you can't dip below. Once something clicks, once that first production, once that first tune clicks, and you walk away and you love it as if it's someone else's track, you never go back again. You know, you're never like, oh man, you know this one's not good enough. You know, I love that thing about creativity. I think you suddenly something clicks, and whatever your trade is, be it, in my case, I can pick up, you know, get in the studio, write hip hop, write techno, write drum and bass. It'd always been my style, but a long while ago, I couldn't think about doing different genres, you know.
We actually, I kind of, you know, I come from hip hop, come from funk, come from reggae, you know. So I love, like, me and Elle done a kind of, I don't know, might have been a 110 BPM thing in one of the NFTs, very hip hop influenced. Me and Graham did a kind of ragga, not a ragga jungle or drum and bass, but literally like a reggae kind of, again, 110. I can't remember, but it was just down tempo.
But yeah, about 80. I think it's like half the D&B speed, like about 88, something like that, 87.5, something like that.
Yeah,
it's just, I mean, and going back to what Trav said, I'd say 80%, 90% of the things that we've done could be turned into tracks. I mean, there were some that I really loved that I would have loved to turn into tracks, but Leeroy told us off and said we can't. No, they are definitely. I mean, the kind of way that we worked, we end up at, some of ours could literally have the parts extended, as in, if they're 4-bar sections, turn them into 8s and 16, and quite easily make tracks.
Yeah.
Because they're so segmented off in 4, 8, 16 bar sections, you know.
So cool. So cool. Yeah, I think, like I say, when the community get to hear it all, it's going to be mind-blowing. I can't wait. Trav, is there anyone out there who might want to ask the guys a question?
We did have a hand go up earlier. If anyone
What do you say
wants
to
to come up, now is the time. Alternatively, you can try asking a question in the banter channel if you'd prefer to stay in the audience. But otherwise, yeah, raise your hand and we'll get you up.
You've been chewing the eucalyptus again this
Yeah, mate. Got to keep the drop bears away.
There we go.
Master Meta.
Hey guys, how we doing?
Hey, dude.
All good.
Hey, cool, good, thanks.
Cool. Thank you for having me up. Firstly, just want to say thanks for letting me come into the Discord and be part of this. Really excited about what you guys are doing. Big fan of obviously UK underground music. Been involved in the scene for a long time and really hyped to be here. And sounds like you guys have really got your head screwed on with what you're trying to do. So you're really well done for the progress you've made so far.
Thanks.
You were talking earlier on about kind of the newness of the space and those kind of things. And I just wanted to make a comment. I come from an investment banking background. So I spent the best part of 20 years in investment banking. I was 12 years with Goldman Sachs. And I've been in the NFT space for about 4 months now. I'm actually I'm the founder of another project. So I've got my own project on the go at the moment. But whenever I speak to anyone outside of the space, I mean, you guys, you're all kind of immersed in this scene, and there's so much going on. There's so much excitement. There's so much opportunity, and it's amazing. But whenever I speak to anyone kind of from a traditional investment background, they roll their eyes. And I say, "Oh, I'm into NFTs," and they roll their eyes and they say, "Oh, really? Oh man, that's a bubble." Yeah. And I'm like, well, it might be a bubble, but it's not a bubble that's going to pop. It's a bubble that's going to transform and change and progress and become new things. And if I make money out of that bubble while it is how it is, I'm going to do it. Like, who's the fool? Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I just wanted to say, like, thank you. Great project. So excited to be here and really keen to see how it progresses. So thank you.
Oh man, thanks for coming on board. Yeah, I mean, this is the same as everything. If you don't, take a risk or go off that path, even if it leads to a dead end, if you don't try nothing in your life, especially when you've got amazing friends, amazing talent, I had people believe, the whole team, everybody, all these artists, all my mates, they've known me for years and that, but I still picked up the phone and said, look, I've got this fucking crazy idea, right? It's totally different what we do. Do you want to get involved? And some people, it's NFTs, and some people, look, I don't really know, count me in, keep me on board, I can learn about it as we go along. I trust you, Lee, you got my back, It's not always about the idea, it's about the people that believe in you, and I'm one of these people, I'm 100% committed to this. I don't know everything. I hate people who think they do. Every single person who's anything to do with MetaBeats, is just part of this team and as valuable as everyone else. And yeah, we're lucky. There's still so much to learn, but we are early to it. And people always are hesitant on things they don't understand. So man, you can't convince everyone, and you don't want everyone to like you. It's impossible. But man, you're always going to be ahead of the other guy at school or in the office or whatever with some little bit of knowledge or some craze that's coming along that they don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, Bitcoin, everyone is calling that a Ponzi in 2017, and now everyone's talking about how to buy some. So yeah, to a degree, but I suppose NFTs is kind of like a few years behind the broader crypto scene. And I mean, even with that said, there have been some VCs investing in big metaverse collections and stuff like that. So it's certainly something. Like we're definitely on the Ready Player One timeline, and yeah, you're gonna get a lot of bookings in the future. Let me tell you.
Again, I don't think a lot of people still haven't got the concept of the metaverse. you got some people thinking it's going to be one place, you know, and not actually realising that, there are lands and games that you can call that at the moment, you know, and unless your brain is accepting of the NFT space and that people are paying millions for what they see as a JPEG and stuff, unless you accept that first, you can't understand it. I think you accept it happens, and then you can look to understand it. Now, some people are never gonna think like that. You know, they think, you know, it's just a picture, it's just a JPEG. I've been dealing with lawyers, obviously 54 artists, and there's lawyers that you're saying that it's a smart contract on the blockchain. You know, on Etherscan, you can see everything you need to see. You can trace every movement, but it's not written on that bit of paper. No, but dude, it don't work like that anymore. You know, the whole world, from legal people who, you know, sat there cushy talking a language that no one knows, so they can charge loads of money. You know, old Latin or whatever they write in. What does that mean? Well, it basically means if you do that, you do that. Why don't you just say that? You know, I'm talking to them and they don't know what's going on, and I like that.
Bit of payback for all those years of confusing us, right?
Yeah.
I think on the investment front, I think with this sort of NFT, I think it's a bit of a game changer. A lot of the others, I mean, like Leeroy was mentioning someone who was licensing the ape one for a brand for a restaurant. So that's starting to see some real value that's there. But I think with these, where it's not like, you know, 10,000 JPEGs rolled out of paint with a bit of code, this is actually creative intellectual property rights to music, which can be used and are out there now making money. It's not something that doesn't make money or that you can't make money from. So I think the investment sort of world is going to open up to NFTs, and it's not just, you know, putting music on an NFT that will open the investment world. There's an awful lot within the NFT space and within that technology that I think is really open to investment and to a lot more to happen, and a lot of people in the investment and the banking world to change their tune in time. Basically, I think even this project, I think, is something that will potentially turn heads. Even publishing houses might look at stuff like this and think, well, you know, could we buy some stuff here?
Yeah, well, like I've heard Universal Music have an ape band. So, you know, once they see projects like this one come out, they're going to be like, shit, we can do that. So yeah, we could be on the forefront of a new meta, you know.
Just say as well, guys, in the scene as well, is you're starting to get some big brands and some big organizations kind of ape into the space when they don't really understand what they're doing, and they're not making the most of the opportunity they've got for their brand. I think, Leeroy, obviously you've kind of been a pioneer of certain brands, of types of music, etc., for your career, and I just see this as an extension of that, right? You're pioneering what can be done in this space. And for example, like Liverpool Football Club launched some NFTs 3 weeks ago. I bought a couple of them. I'm not a Liverpool fan by any stretch of the imagination, but I bought a couple of them. But they were launched in conjunction with Sotheby's, the auction house, and it was all very kind of above board, prim and proper, and there was nothing kind of like really Web3 and NFT feeling about it. It was very prim and proper, and I don't think I think they've rushed into doing that and not really taken the time to understand the space and be in some discords and really see how it works under the covers. Do you know what I mean? I've seen Nike have bought a few NFT brands over the past few months, kind of year, and they were really successful brands, and Nike have bought them and they've not done anything with them, and they've just kind of flopped. And
they've just bought that virtual trainer company as well, right? For the metaverse.
Yeah, it's the same old thing, man. It's, you know, this is underground, right? I can't stress it more. It's like, I don't want them people near me. You know, you've taken so much all the time, you know, and their greed will make them rush into this thing of how can we snatch from these dumb people out there, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
This whole thing is the whole world thrives on dumbness, feeding off people's dumbness, yeah? And it doesn't mean you have to be dumb, but it's kind of, if you can sow a seed in someone's head and enough of them, it spreads, enough of people to believe it. It's the same as if you're at a boxing match, the energy gets dark because there's violence. If you're at a football match, everyone gets singing, there's a great buzz. If you're at a rave and everyone's jumping to the same track, there's an energy amongst people and humans that, you know, is connected. Yeah, and these big corporate companies, they're just trying to rape everyone. I said to you, it ain't come yet, but once you start walking around in the metaverse, once it's all established everywhere, and you're playing your tunes that are owned, I don't know, by a famous band, the publishing companies are going to kick in, and the bots and everything. I don't, nothing to do with that. Yeah, we've all been through that. I'm sitting here and I'm like, mate, I'm in the studio every day of my life. I'd rather actually give it all up, yeah, and spend that time on my own health for the point of actually trying to produce full songs, albums, and get them to people. That doesn't excite me. I've been doing that for 30 years, you know. I want to be part of something again, something that's creative, a movement that it grows and people get into it for passion. Not just for money, not because them companies, that's a tax loss. If they fucking put their foot on you and crush your dreams, it's a tax loss. You know, they ain't got nothing personal attached to it like we have, you know.
I mean,
completely agree.
The only, or you're going to rate me right now. So the only thing I think, like, if you take what he said about Liverpool and Sotheby's, I do see an advantage or a positive to that, as a bit like one of us lot making a tune that end up crossing over into the charts that brings normal people into the dance scene. I don't know, I think there's something a bit putting the skeptics at ease when you've got, I'm not down with Sotheby's by any means, and if it's Liverpool or any Premiership club or any, let's call it an household name, surely that must put a bit of ease on people that don't understand NFTs.
Oh man, they say any press is good press. I read about the Liverpool thing, them getting involved, and then I was actually watching the game when advertising board started flipping to Liverpool FC, NFT, look now and that. I bet half of people were thinking it was a new superstore in town. Right. You know, hey, Cleese, we've got to get down there, mate. Get ourselves some stuff, you know. So it was kind of like, I knew it was just going over people's heads. Yeah, it's amazing that they're getting involved. But again, you've got this very scary element to this NFT world of that I'm seeing a lot of the sort of celebrity thing. A lot of there's a couple of NFTs I've bought. Sorry, this is obviously someone.
Liverpool.
Yeah, he's supposed to be in here listening. But yeah, the NFT. Sorry, I should probably train of thought there. I was saying about the Liverpool thing. Yeah, people, it's good for the thing, but there was a ape that come out. You know, John Terry got behind it, and a lot of people kind of jump on. Oh, we get a celebrity, and it will sell the whole thing. You know, and then within 2 weeks, the Premier League, UEFA, Champions League, and all that are trying to sue them for using their or tell them you've got to get rid of the collection because you've got the Premier League trophy, Champions League trophy, their trademarks. You know, it's like, it's this thing where people are trying to use the names of people to sell shit and stuff, you know. The marketing and the real world leeches and scam, and it's all leaking in here, but by keeping it small and cool, you can keep them people outside your circle of trust.
Yeah, and I mean, we've got the artists here. Like, it's not just a project that's connected. Like, you know, I've seen a sort of hype around a project that had a connection to Michael Jordan, but you know, it was his son's project. So it's like not like MJ is going to be coming into the server ever, but you're talking about having, some kind of like celebrity endorsement from a project, mate. We've got 54 of them, so.
Well, yeah, again, of course, I would actually want them people to like the thing. I don't know, it's me. When we used to get offered free shit, I didn't take it. You know what I mean? It's a weird thing for me. I'm just like, kind of like, man, man, if you're going to put your face to something, surely you have to like it or want to really, really be part of it. And I've seen some of these projects where they're like, look, so-and-so's made a tweet that he went to the zoo and saw a gorilla, plastering with 500 gorillas, and let's make him buy one. Just ruin his day by raiding his tweet. Like, it's got nothing to do with NFTs. He plays a sport, but just ruin his day by bombarding him. It's a strange space, man, because it's kind of, if something's good enough, you want them people to come to you to buy something, not to be chasing them all the time. It helps. It can do, but man, have it with someone genuine. I'd rather have some unknown kid who's like on it every day talking about it than someone who's like thinks they're a superstar who posts about it once every 3 months.
I think that Louis, you mentioned like the genuine side of it. I think authenticity is so important in this space. And personally, when I look at projects and I go on the AMAs and listen, I'm always looking for that authentic connection from founders, and those who are really passionate about what they're doing. They're passionate about the art, they're passionate about the utility that project brings. And I think in the space, kind of, you've probably seen it as well. Over the past 3-4 months, we've had a load of projects that have come through where just maybe just a bunch of guys who want to make a bit of cash, hire an artist off of like some website, build some tokens and launch them, and they sell out and stuff. But I think we're coming to a bit more of a crossroads now where some of those projects are starting to fade away. And I think the projects that have real utility and real authenticity in the founding team will be the ones that succeed better than those that don't have those. And yeah, authenticity is so important to me, absolutely so important.
Yeah, I think it's really important. Just before we go on, I've got to say, people have got to let Micky Finn go. He normally heads up, delivers milk tray at this time of night. So he's got to slip into his black low-cut pulses and he's off.
I ain't got to slip into it when I've already got it on. Come on, Leeroy.
I know, it's because we kept you for 5 minutes too late. You were getting changed in the background.
I would just like to comment on what he just said there. I think I've collected art for years, and I think you see the difference between someone that wants to get into a craze because it's the craze right now and an artist. An artist is going to want to be around, you had loads of people coming out of the woodwork soon as Banksy had success. It's that continuous onslaught of how an artist thinks. A novice is just going to burn out because it ain't really what he wants to do. He just wants to jump on this craze right now. Yeah. But I've got to run.
All right, Cammy. Well, we'll touch base with you soon. Thanks for coming on board, Mick, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a good night. Say hello to the people. Give them a big wave.
Give them a big wave. How'd you do that? I'm new on this.
Just do a virtual wave. Come on, man. You should, just virtual it. I'm going to do a subliminal minimal set next week. I'm just going to project some bangers, and I want you all to just tune into my sort of brain waves and just imagine the best set you've ever heard. It's called Subliminal Minimal. It's fresh. You've heard it first. Well, you ain't heard it, but you can imagine it first on Metabeat coming next week.
Right.
It's a vibe. Thanks, Nick.
Everyone, have a good weekend.
Take care.
You too, brother.
Cheers.
Speak to you soon.
Well, yeah, we're sitting around the 80-minute mark. Does anyone have any closing thoughts, or is there something we wanted to dive into?
His dog says it's time for food. That's the closing thought tonight.
Yeah. Feed your dogs, guys.
The mic off because the dog's going mad.
Yeah. No, listen, I think we covered a lot of stuff there. I think amazing guests, and people can go and track them down, see what they've done, look forward to the next time they come on, because we can just skim the surface. We can talk forever, I think. And, it's great that we can be recorded these, and yeah, we can go back and listen to my waffle and the other guys' constructive stuff, and do it again, within the next few weeks or so.
Yeah, thanks for introducing us and stuff. I'm really interested in the space, so I'm keen to get involved.
So good to have you here, man. So good to have you.
Yeah, we'll be seeing more of you, and I know that you've posted in the artist feed, so for anyone listening, check out the artist feed channel for.
Yeah, I was going to say that to El. El was asking where to post. I was going to say, but I didn't want to interrupt when people were talking. So one of the places on this server is artist feed. So if you've got anything you want to post in there, El, just do it in the artist feed, basically. Any of your latest stuff you want to promote or what have you. I was hit up before saying about it, so I put our releases and a couple of mixes in there.
Oh man, that's what it's about. This is a place for sharing. And to be fair, guys listening, I've been in bangers, and a few people have submitted some music, and there's some really cool stuff. Not going to lie, I ain't got time to listen to every single one of them. I will always have a little flick check stuff. So that's just what it's all about. It don't matter if you're one of the artists. It's all about sharing.
Yeah, and I'll also put a call out there to any aspiring DJs. If you've got some recorded sets, chuck them in bangers as well. We might even open up the stage to the community at some point. So get involved. And that's
just to go over that. So the bangers is to put tracks, like any track, just tracks that you like or DJ sets that you like, etc.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And the artist feed is to promote anything like that you're doing as an artist.
Yeah, man. If you've got some new releases, as you always will have, or if you've got a virtual gig going on, let people know, man. Because, like I say,
Absolutely will.
That's great.
It's awesome, isn't it? That's what it's all about.
It's been a lot of fun, guys. Thoroughly enjoyed the chat, and definitely, want to evolve the relationship and see where it goes. Leeroy, Travis, I'm down.
Oh man, it's so cool. It makes me high every time I talk to all you guys, man. Knowledge, commitment, and passion. It's fun. It's fun.
It is. We're lucky to be in this space doing music. Like, it does keep you young. It's a very fortunate thing to do with your life, that's for sure.
Yeah, man, for sure. Okay, guys, I'll let you go and crack on. And thanks so much again. And thanks to all you people for sitting in and listening. And we're going to go over to banter, drop a few bits of English sarcasm. If it goes over your head, we apologise, but you'll get used to it.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, everyone. And we'll be heading into a DJ Richter set as soon as he's ready. So hang around. I'll just have to change the stage, but thanks for coming, and look out for future events at the top of the server.
Awesome. Thanks, Trav.
Appreciate the opportunity.
Cheers, guys.
Awesome. Cheers, guys. Talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Bye.